The following production is part of the Play Some Video Games podcast network.
Greetings, Kooblings! Donnie here. Nintendo Shack is back this week. It's a slow news week. Nintendo Shack 23. No news here. I feel like this could be a short episode. That's okay. That's okay. Brought Caroline with me. Hey, Carol.
Yeah, we're by ourselves. Jason abandoned us.
Jason did abandon us. I had his tweet pulled up earlier. I don't want to go find it now, but I had his tweet pulled up earlier. It said something like, since the day I bought it, this is the longest I've gone without turning my Switch on. I guess it's been a couple days, a week, something like that.
Wow, that's sad.
It's interesting that he tweeted that out, because I saw similar feelings today in the Discord, and I've seen similar feelings this week on Twitter. Not sounding any alarmed by any means, but let's just say that that's a good situation to be in. Like when the Switch has had such a great first year, such a great week to week, that you feel like a week goes by where something doesn't come out that you want to buy, and you're like, man, where are the games at?
Well, yeah, it's like I have time to relax and not play anything.
We had entire years of that on Wii U.
I know.
We're like, oh man, 7 months till Mario Tennis comes out.
Yeah, and I still didn't buy it. Oh dear.
How are you doing?
But yeah, I'm good. Aside from the fact that the rain has come in, I guess, for both of us. Since we're like 30 miles apart.
I think it's past me now, but yeah, it was rough. I was out. That was actually one of the reasons why I started just a little bit late. I had to go check all of the drains.
Oh yeah.
So the drain under the sidewalk is flooding the front yard, which is great, and the drain in the backyard is flooding the woods behind me, which is fantastic.
Everything is working as it should. Yeah, the rain just like affects my head, and low pressure. Like I should say the rain affects my head. I'm not wet or anything. No, it's the low pressure outside. When the barometric pressure drops, my head starts like pounding.
Weird.
Yeah, I just am really prone to that kind of crap. So.
Okay. I'm gonna take a drink first. So good audio for the listeners.
Yeah, man. We need it.
It's been a week for me. I just paid to have 7 trees brought down in my yard.
I know, I saw pictures.
And leaned over my neighbor's gazebo. Didn't cause a whole lot of damage, but still, like, you can't just be like, hey, can we just, like, leave this on your gazebo for, like, a few weeks until I can afford to pay it? Like, you got to fix that right away. So,
yeah.
I fixed that right away, and that was a fun experience. I've never paid somebody. I hated it. You feel like you're just giving money away as they drop a tree.
Oh, I know.
You're like, I'm paying you for this?
Yep. And I don't even get to like use it for firewood or anything. Or did you?
So to save money, I own the lot behind me. Like it's a 2-lot deal on my house, so it just came included. The lot behind me is like a ravine. It's just a hole. Yeah. It just goes down to like this little creek that runs at the bottom, and like when they built the neighborhood, apparently there's all kinds of stuff down there that's been overgrown with ivy. So that sounds like a perfect combination for snakes. Oh yeah, it definitely is. We have lots of snakes.
I'm never coming to your house.
So when we brought the trees down, I was like, hey, can you just throw them there? Like just drop them that way. And they're like, do you own that? And I had to prove to them that I was like, this is my land. And they were like, oh yeah, we can totally do it. It'll save you a lot of money. We'll do it for like half.
Yeah.
It's like, sweet.
Nice. That's
Throw
nice.
all the stuff in the hole.
Well, I mean, if the trees are still there, I mean, you could conceivably cut that up for firewood, and the longer it sits, it dries out. Oh, come on. We always build fires in the winter.
I'm not going to do that. That sounds like work. I like playing video games, not working.
This is true.
Speaking of video games, this is why you're here. Welcome back to the Nintendo Shack, not the House Life Hour with Donnie and Carol.
It's like we're doing Tamagotchi Life or... Oh, dear.
We're going to get into what we've been playing. I feel like I've been somewhat, not really a broken record, but I've kind of said all that I really need to say about Kirby. I liked Kirby. It was a good game. I wish it was more. I wish it did more. I wish it was longer. So I think Kirby for me is squarely in that rent range. So like if you're interested in Kirby, I'd advise you go rent it or go buy it and trade it in. but definitely don't like rush out to get it and keep it forever. I don't think it's worth all that kind of praise. So I'll get that out of the way. And I just want to say that I've been playing 80s Overdrive on my 3DS. It was one of the games that I got. That's a fun little game. Really enjoy that. I would like if that game came to Switch one day.
Oh.
I would like that if that game came to any other system one day, to be honest with you. Any other system that it's really fun. It's got these synth 80 tunes. Because it's all in the 80s racer stuff. It looks really good in 3D. Gets very vibrant. And it's a fun little waste. Jason, Kevin, and I all played and beat the Long Reach, and we reviewed it.
Oh, already.
Wasn't our favorite game, but we did have an extra code. We had an extra code because they never got us the North American code, so we just all bought it. And then they came back and gave us the North America code. So I said, hey, you know what? Instead of using this, let's give it away.
Sure.
So for the last 3 days, we've been running a Twitter contest, and I'm happy to announce the winner. The winner is JD, who is at the Alabama Comic-Con currently, and he is on Twitter at Life or Reality. That is his tag, at Life or Reality. You had to follow and retweet us, and if you did that on any of the posts, I dropped your name into a random name generator. He actually won on the second draw because the first draw was basically a bot. I don't want to say it was or was not, but like half of the entries were just
bots.
Like if you go to their website, every tweet they've ever tweeted for history is like a contest. And I was like, I'm not going to give this away to one of these people. I need somebody that's actually doing something. So JD, you're the first real person. So I hope you enjoy it. I will message you separately and give you your code. And I hope you enjoy the game. It's a fun game. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. Congrats, dude.
Caroline, what have you been playing?
I feel like we just did this on Monday when we were on when we were with Sean. I have only been playing Xenoblade Chronicles 1.
You still haven't given up?
I have not given up. And you know what?
Quit and play something better or move on to come on now.
Today I got to probably the best part in the game so far, and it's the Napon village that's called Frontier Village. And oh my god. So have you played the game?
I actually, hang on a second. My phone's going, I can't really turn it off because of the rain and everything that's going on. Yes, I beat Xenoblade back on Wii like originally. So I came up in that time when it was cool to play.
Gotcha.
I love Xenoblade Chronicles. It's the only reason I ever bought X. So no, I get what you're saying. I would love it if they did a remaster. If they did a remaster version of Xenoblade Chronicles, I would go bananas. I would go. Oh yeah, insane.
I think if they did it, it's so. I think the thing is it's just so different from 2, and like I talked with my husband about this because
it's hard.
We're in the same boat. It's Xenoblade 2 did comedy and drama mixed together perfectly, and this one is all drama and we got to go to point A to point B to point C to point D with like no character development and no cool cutscenes like they had. I mean, we get Tora creating Poppy and everybody knowing that he's a pervert.
Well, I mean, it was a different era, right? It was a whole, like, comparably speaking, the Switch versus the Wii technically are worlds and generations apart.
Right.
So you got to give them a little technical leeway there. My bad experience or the bad taste in my mouth I have from Xenoblade is when they tried to put it on Wii. I mean, on 3DS. And I bought that excited to replay one of those games that I loved. I was like, oh, man, I'm going to go back in time. Because you think about the great remakes that we had on 3DS. Oh, yeah. Like, the 3DS is perfect to remake some stuff on, right? Some 64, some GameCube, throw some stuff on there. Star Fox, And I was like, oh, it's going to be amazing. It's not. It was terrible. I was like, this is awful.
I remember debating getting into the series with that and then seeing the graphics comparison, which was not too far off, but slightly worse. And I was like, what's the point of this?
Yes.
It finally stopped crashing on me. I took it out and I seriously had an issue where it crashed 10 times on me. And I got to the point that I was just obsessively saving before and after every single, like, go from this area to this area. Okay, I know that my little guide meter is counting down to almost 0 and I need to probably save before it shuts off again. And about 7 times out of 10, every time I would do it, it would cut off. Like when it would start to play the cutscene, it would just freeze, and I'd have to completely restart the Wii. I'm playing it on the Wii U because the Wii was just not. I thought it was just the Wii not handling it, but it was just the game. Took it out, cleaned it, and it seems to be running fine now.
That's good.
I don't know if there was like some film on it or something.
Still
but I just
shocked
couldn't
that you
see.
just didn't pay the $20 to get it on Wii U. Until like just stunned. It's like it's just $20.
You know how I am about my physicals.
I know.
But I actually got it for a really good deal. You know, it goes online for between $60 and $70.
Do you know at one point GameStop, I'm pretty sure this is the case.
They hiked the price up.
No, they did that, but at one point they either released unsold copies or they printed new ones.
I think they released unsold ones.
Because I got one of those, and it was absolutely brand new out of the pack for like $30.
Right.
So that was pretty cool. I mean, it's Xenoblade
got mine
Chronicles
for
is one of my favorite games.
40. Okay, well, I'm gonna play it through to the end. I got to Frontier Village today, and like I said, it's like the best. What?
I couldn't imagine going back and trying to play it again. Because I remember. So the thing about Xenoblade Chronicles that I think is so reminiscent for me is I remember it came at the end of like my Wii playing days, like my Wii cycle.
It was a very late Wii game. It came after Skyward Sword, which was like one of the last.
I think it was like it might have been like the last game I played on my Wii. And I remember at the time I was getting super busy because I was just starting school. Like I think I was still getting my associate's degree and everything. So I kind of just like mained that game for like a half a year.
Yeah.
So I just kind of played it and just like that's what I did. And I just kind of kept messing around with it. And I never quit and never moved on to anything else because A, didn't have time, and B, it was just my money was focused elsewhere. So like I keep remembering that. Maybe that's why I enjoyed it. But I remember when I tried to replay it, I couldn't. I just can't.
I'm not into the characters as much. I
think you're gonna hate X, because X is X is very like bro-ish. All of the characters are like very into like their stereotype, and then it's all like corny, cheesy jokes. None of it's real serious at all. Like the aliens come, you have to prep, but the game honestly just like throws you into the world super fast. It's like go kill monsters, and if you kill a lot of them, one day you'll get a giant Gundam wing. And like, I played that game for 70 hours with nothing else like on the end of the stick than I want to be a Gundam. And then when I got a Gundam, I was like, I'm gonna wreck this world for another 30 hours as a Gundam, and that's all I did. And so like you're all like the story and the characters, and as like X, I don't even remember any of their names. Don't care. Like it was just all about getting a Gundam and fighting giant bird monsters.
Well,
it was very Monster Hunter-ish for me.
There's not much different in this game. I mean, I don't know if there's going to be any Gundam. The mech on her is close to Gundam. Well, I take that back. I've seen somebody getting put together, and it's a very cryptic girl that's like Lady So-and-so in like a cutscene, and she's like, I just finished putting her together, and it's pretty much a girl in a Gundam suit. And I'm like,
is it huge? Because in X, it's like massive.
Oh, it's not that big. It's not like you never played through all the way to 2, and the final boss in 2 is a Gundam and humongous.
That's cool. I might rebuy X one day.
Please do.
If I ever get into that, like I've got nothing to play and there's nothing on the horizon, I might. It might be like that.
We're in the middle of it right now.
No, I'm not. I've got all kinds of stuff to play.
I know. I have tons of backlog
on
too.
other systems. I'm not really playing much on Switch. I'm playing Pac-Man. Like Pac-Man's like keeping my Switch love.
You and your Far Cry.
Far Cry's good, man. That is a good game. I'm enjoying that one. So, anyway, we can move on.
Yes,
it's fine that there's nothing coming on. I said this before we got the last Direct, and I'll keep saying it. I feel like it's a missed opportunity that one of those games coming in April aren't here right now. It should be here right. It's like they push. There's like 3 games. I can't remember them all, but I know South Park is late April, and then is it Hyrule Warriors?
Hyrule Warriors, I think, is in May.
And then Runner,
early May,
right? Runner 3.
Runner 3, yeah.
One of those games should be here. It should be right now.
Yeah.
So then we could get to the next one and then the next one, and they just kind of shoved them all together in May. And there's something else coming out in May, like Street Fighter's coming out in May. There's like a bunch of games coming out in May. There's like 5 or 6 big, notable games coming out in May, but there's like nothing from like second week March to second week April. There's just nothing here. And we're hoping that we hear an indie. There's not even like any indie stuff like on the radar. We don't even know.
Well, like I said, I've been, holding out for the Shantae Ultimate Day 1 edition, which was, I think, supposed to be here on April 3rd. I I don't know if I'm just getting that wrong or if it actually was supposed to be here then. They pushed it to April 24th, and that is going to come with all the DLC, which I never bought for the Switch or the Wii U version. So I'm excited to play that again and play all of the DLC.
Don't they have some new DLC for the Switch version?
I think.
I think so. Yeah, I think they have some new stuff. I was thinking about that. I was like, I might have to go jump back and get some of that. Where's that Mario Rabbids DLC?
I don't know.
It's just out there in the ether somewhere. It's gonna drop in like August. Like what in the?
They're trying to perfect it. I guess they've had all these.
Come on.
Standards.
It should have been done by now.
I know.
Like that would be.
They teased it. It looked pretty.
It
finished
looked done then. Yeah. It's like what is going on?
I don't know.
Something like that would have been nice right in this window. But it's fine. There's plenty to play. It's not like there are games that I've bought that I haven't played. I never got to Blossom Tales. There's all kinds of stuff. So if I really wanted to play Switch or I only own Switch, there's tons of stuff to play. It's
true.
Yeah, I think we got conditioned a little bit. There was a while there, like a good 8-month stretch where the Switch was getting something every week. Something. Yep. We're gonna kind of follow the PSVG format this week, because like I said, there's really no news. Like we've got some news, but it's really not news.
Yeah.
The title of the episode. It's just
guess what's here?
Filler. So we reached out, and this week it meant more than any weeks, I think, up to this point. I was like, guys, seriously, if you don't give us any questions, the episode's going to be like 24 minutes, because there's nothing to talk about. There's no games coming. There's no announcements. There's nothing. Oh, there's Labo. Labo's in April. So I guess that's like the next big thing.
Yeah,
I keep forgetting because I'm not even paying attention to that until like October.
I'm not.
That's a Christmas present.
I'm not buying it until the price comes down. It's a little steep for me for some
cardboard.
Yeah,
it's gonna be super fun. It's gonna be super
fun. Oh, I'm excited. I'm gonna buy it.
I can't wait to watch YouTube videos and see what people. So like, I'm excited to see what like designers like color and design on it, but I'm also excited to see like what engineer students and stuff like make on their own. Yep. Like, look at this awesome basketball game we made out of Labo, and like I'm like, this is gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
Or like somebody makes like a football game. Like I'm just that stuff.
That part is gonna be interesting. But I've always said, like, since I saw the beginning thing, I was like, the market on Etsy for this stuff is going to be unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Our first question comes in from Skinny Matt. And you actually wanted to talk about this. Typically, we reserve some of this until May. So we may have to do this again. And that's okay.
That's fine.
Because the opinions change. What's your long shot, way too early E3 predictions?
We want our Fire Emblem game, don't we?
Oh, that's coming.
I think they'll definitely be teasing that. Hopefully, like, they'll give us a big... Here's what the story is. Here's the release date type thing.
We should, if we get a tease, consider me extremely concerned about that making it through 2018.
It won't. If it's just a tease, it won't be until 2019.
It should be a blowout. Here's all 3 versions. Here's a special edition. Here are the characters. Here are the stories.
Yeah. Are we doing the whole Fates thing again?
I think so. I mean, why wouldn't they? Fates was so big and it was so popular.
I know.
Why would they not just copy that? They should take that exact same thing and go, here's Fire Emblem for Switch. Here's
Choose
version
your own
A.
adventure type
Here's
thing.
version B. In 6 months after launch, we're going to have version C. You can buy all of them for a discount. And you get this awesome book and a CD and
keychains. If you can find it.
If you can find it.
I
have learned from buying the other ones. I have learned that always pre-order those. There was a time where I just thought I could get them. That time has come and gone. You can no longer get them. Like, people know. They
don't even send them to the stores anymore.
Yeah. People know. Like, they're hyping in on those. So I think that's a really good prediction. It should be there.
I think we'll also see Yoshi completely done.
I think that's a really good prediction. I would go as far as saying, I bet Yoshi comes out in August.
Yeah, I think it's going to come out late summer.
They've got to get it out before the fall comes. It can't be anywhere near Call of Duty or Destiny's expansion or Madden or Red Dead Redemption 2. It'll just get slaughtered by all of those games.
Right.
So like you've got to put Yoshi way out in front. So I think I agree with you.
And
Yoshi should come out in August.
Before Smash Brothers, which I think will be in September.
It's a good bet. That is a good bet. I Smash Brothers, I agree with you.
Well, it's just because I think it's going to line up with we've talked. It's going to line up
disagree with you.
It's going to line up with the time that they
launch
release
the service. Yeah, yeah. I think
Did they
you're
say
right.
September for that?
I'm trying to think. I don't remember. I think so, but I'm not sure.
I feel like that's the date or the month or whatever. But
Okay.
Those are my 3 predictions. I
Okay.
mean,
Okay.
I'm being safe.
I'm gonna try to make your Smash prediction seem more true. My interesting thing with Fire Emblem is I thought that maybe Fire Emblem would slip into 2019 because I'm wondering if Pokemon might not appear.
Dude, I told you that. Like, I said that a few weeks ago.
Right. My question is, I don't think they... I'm going to put this in the right words. I never thought they would do Fire Emblem and Pokemon in the same quarter. Like the same season.
Mm-hmm.
That was like my idea. Was like, man, it's really close together. Like, I hope they have other software. Because eventually they're going to run out of these bullets and we're going to have a... Like, they've never shown that they can produce that much content.
Right.
Right. So like, but DLC, like maybe them leaning into DLC kind of changes some of this. I don't know. So the question is, are we really going to say that the fall, the summer, the last quarter of Switch 2018 is Yoshi, Smash, Fire Emblem, and Pokemon? That seems outrageously like too good to be
that
true.
wouldn't be the last quarter. That's like Q3 and then maybe going into Q4. I'm thinking Pokemon's November, like I said before. Like,
so
it's
what I was going to say,
right before holiday.
Smash would totally be a holiday title because that's the biggest thing they've got. You put it in the holiday, and they're not scared of Red Dead Redemption or anything with Smash, like Smash sales period, right? Yeah. So those are both heavy hitters. Now, Pokemon, as I've long stood, Pokemon is absolutely Nintendo's biggest heavy hitter.
Right.
The only thing that makes me think that Pokemon comes this fall is Kimishima wants to sell, what was their forecast? They forecasted 20 million. And they've done this in the past where they forecast like crazy numbers and they always fall short. Mm-hmm. But he's actually kind of like backed that up in his interviews. I feel like he believes it. Mm-hmm. So like if he does believe that they need to sell 20 million, like you gotta have Pokemon. You can't hit 20 million without Pokemon in my mind. I don't think you can hit 20 million. And by the way, that's not 20 million from where we are. Like that's 20 million. From March to March, this fiscal year that just began, he wants to hit 20 million, which would put Switch over 30 million sold by basically by next January. So if he wants to do that, like I kind of feel like it has to include Pokemon. I don't know if Smash can get you there.
I don't think Smash would do it either. Like, I mean, for the people that are waiting on Smash,
is just like the best Smash ever. Like unless they show us Smash and we're like, I can't believe it. Like
if they're thinking like the Smash will sell the systems for the people that also wanted Zelda and Mario, and maybe it's there, and now they're like,
Smash gets you. I mean, Smash might get you close, but 20 million in 1 year is a lot.
It is,
and that sounds like a Pokemon year. Like Pokemon can move 20 million, 3DS copies. Smash can't.
I wouldn't be opposed to Pokemon dropping in November, and if Fire Emblem gets pushed to like a January or February of 2019, that wouldn't be so bad for me.
So that's actually where I was originally going to go. Is I was going to say that Smash was in the fall, that Fire Emblem comes in September, Smash is in the fall, but we get shown Pokemon at E3, and Pokemon comes out spring 2019, and they kick the year off because it's still in the fiscal window, right? True. So like if they launch it in March, those sales still count, and that helps them get to 20 million. And they've launched Pokemon games in the spring in the past. That happened before. It hasn't happened recently, but they have done it.
I think,
that'd be a hell of a way to kick off a year.
Yeah.
I mean, you go Fire Emblem Smash, get some Yoshi love. They'll throw in a couple, smaller things to fit in there. Maybe this Pikmin game shows up. And then you just launch it right into a Pokemon year. And then you're looking at Metroid that fall. I mean, it's like you're...
definitely Metroid next year, not this year.
Right. So if you go into Metroid next fall... you could fit an Animal Crossing either in that year, or that can be the carrot on the stick for the year after, the March after Pokemon, 2020.
That's what I was going to say. Like, I huge want to just, that would be the death of me if Animal Crossing hit this year, but it's not going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
If they teased it at E3, though, I'm going to lose it. Like it's going to be over.
They could Metroid Prime for you with the Animal Crossing. They could have like a little Isabelle show you up and be like, "Thanks for watching the show," and you're like, "Oh God."
No, they'd have to show me more than that. But I just don't know. I really want Fire Emblem, but the Animal Crossing drought has been so long.
It's been real. And then you got to think they're going to drop Virtual Console. So that's the other thing. Like with Virtual Console hitting, it just seems like one of them can't be in that window. You can't have, or I say you can't. You totally can. If they just want to be like gangsters and own the fall, they totally could. They could go Yoshi, Virtual Console with the service, Fire Emblem, Smash, and Pokemon. You're just like, geez.
Yep.
I don't see it. You're like,
I don't see it either.
You're shooting all of your bullets too soon.
Yeah, spread it out.
Because
I mean, like, what are you going to have in 2019?
Yeah, that's where I'm thinking we go Yoshi, Fire Emblem, Virtual Console, Smash. And then they show us a game that comes out after January, somewhere between January and March. Yeah. And it's probably, I'm going to say Pokemon, but let's say it's something. Pokemon, Pikmin, something. It's something like that. Yeah. And that's what gets you to the next Direct, to next year's E3, where hopefully they go, here's the Metroid game we've been waiting for. Oh, by the way, Animal Crossing's coming the year after. And then we're all still there, like consoles keep selling. Yeah, you can. If they hit you with Smash and Fire Emblem and Virtual Console and Pokemon, by the time you get there, by the time you finish playing Metroid Prime 4, you'll be 6 months away from Animal Crossing. You'll totally.
I think Animal Crossing's the 2019 game, though. It's gotta be. It's gotta be.
It feels so super early. And maybe I feel that way off of Wii U because I know they held a bunch of stuff, but like even on Wii, we just didn't get that. I mean, think about what you're saying. Switch launches in 2017. So in the first 3 years, we get a mainline console, we get Fire Emblem, Pokemon, Smash, Kart, Animal Crossing, Metroid. Like, it just seems too much. Like, it doesn't seem realistic.
I just think it's because we didn't have any, like, good, decent stuff in the
Even
Wii
like
U.
on Wii, when they were selling gangbusters, we didn't get years like that. Not in 3 years. You can get that much. That's like half of Nintendo's library.
I know.
You got to think they've got other IP to show too. Like we're not just going to keep
lower your expectations.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm trying to lower both of our expectations.
I know. It's just wishful
I'm going to say Animal Crossing 2020.
It's been since 2013 that we got New Leaf.
Animal Crossing is 2020.
All right.
Yeah.
If they tease Animal Crossing at E3 though, it's 2019.
And if Labo sells well, we're gonna get more Labo stuff.
Oh, I think they've already got more Labo in the works.
I think so
anyway.
Too. I think so too. So, and then if any of these amiibo rumors are true, like these cards and stuff, like they can do that. I think those are absolutely true with Smash. That makes all the sense in the world. That's why I have cards. Cards make sense. All right, thanks for the question, Skinny Matt. We needed the content driver. Paul wrote in a bunch of questions, and I love Paul. It's been a while. He's been hanging out over the Fortress of Nerditude and Flux Depose. It's been a minute. People are robbing our listeners, man.
Come back.
Yeah, Paul, you're supposed to be hanging in the shack. And he says he already asked this, which he did. I do remember this, but I'll let Caroline throw her spin on it. Will we see a Star Fox on Switch? And if so, when?
Yes. And not anytime soon because they're trying to figure out what works. Because I still don't own Zero, and Donnie was talking about how he bought it for $4,
$5
with Guard, and I'm waiting on like a sick deal like that to get 2 games for
Guard is worth $5
each.
Guard is fun. It's really like rough, like looking, but the concept is actually pretty fun. It's pretty good.
That's what I heard.
Good
it's better
game.
than Zero.
It is. I think.
Anyway, they got to go back to the drawing board like bad and figure this out. And if that takes, the majority of the Switch's lifetime to figure out, I think that would be worth it. It would just kind of be a travesty if they took an IP like that and didn't do it justice for however many generations now that they haven't really done it well.
When he at first asked this question, I think I had some ideas that I think I shared, but just to recap them, I would love to see them do something episodic with Star Fox. Like, give me a 4 to 5 minute like cutscene animation that does a story, and then let me do like 3 like on rails things for like $20, and then like give me another episode. Think like Star Fox Telltale. I wouldn't even mind giving it to Telltale, and then like, hey, go do a Star Fox thing with this. I also wouldn't mind. Pretty neat. I think the Nintendo formula for resurrecting something from the dead is just to make it a platformer. I wouldn't mind that either. If I could do like a side-scrolling, not necessarily Star Fox out of the ship, but I wouldn't mind that either. But even like with the ship, like just come side-scrolling, shooter, something like that, something smaller, just to get people thinking about Star Fox again at a budget. I think would be a great way of getting him back. He asks if we've seen the Game Boy alarm clock. I have no idea what he's talking about. I don't have an alarm clock.
I would like to have it.
Who has alarm clocks?
I don't.
Yeah,
I have
it sounds
a phone.
like compasses. It's like, who has a compass anymore? Like, nobody. We have
but
phones.
I just like collecting cool stuff, like
That's
the
true.
chain chomp lamp. I really want that. That's $50 right now, though, and I just can't afford that expense for a lamp.
The next one is a really good one because this is like kind of news. He goes, what's the deal with the third-party docks bricking the Switch? So when the last update came out, a lot of third-party accessories, including docks, had a lot of issues. Now, the bricking issue is something that I investigated quite a bit because Tom Servo in our Discord was like, hey, Donnie, did you see this? And he sent me a video. The video that I watched was from, I don't even remember. So I forget about it. But I'd actually seen a video from him before the 5.0 patch where he was talking about this dock. And that dock has problems bricking consoles. I forget which one it was. Oh, my God. God damn. It's going to bother me because now I can't remember which one it is, and I really should. So while you're talking, I'm going to look it up. But anyway, what I wanted to say is that I don't own that dock. I own the Insignia dock, and I've used it plenty of times after the patch, and it's been absolutely fine. And I think other third-party docks are reporting the same. There's something with one specific dock, and I'm going to look it up before we leave tonight, that's causing the issue, and this happened way before. So just stay away from that one dock. I did have the issue with my controller that stopped working, but after I finally found the manufacturer, they gave me a patch that fixed it. They also gave me a refund, so I totally
I remember.
Yeah, I totally have free controller. So
sweet. But I don't have the need to get a second dock right now. Like our apartment is a 2-bedroom, and the dirt old TV. I say that it's an HD TV, but like early HD TV that we have in our bedroom is itty bitty, and I don't think I would ever play any. I would much rather play handheld in my bedroom.
Sure.
So I have not had the need or the desire to get a second dock. Eventually, I would like to, but I would advise. I know that it's expensive, but I've seen a lot more people start doing it. Just doing the expense and buying the first party, an additional dock from Nintendo, because this is kind of scary stuff. I've always been wary about third-party stuff. The only third-party things that I think I've bought, I actually bought recently, one of those Nyko Wii charging stations that come with the rechargeable batteries, because the one that I had from 2006 actually, I went to plug it in, and of course, you know, something from 2006, the rechargeable batteries were just
those
dead.
Are dead.
So like stuff like that, I'll buy third-party controllers. Like I bought 2 third-party Wii U Pro controllers. I'm just looking around to see anything that I buy. But I'm just like really wary about third-party stuff. I think it goes back to when I had a GameCube. I bought one of those third-party memory cards, and
there was a lot of those in that entire generation. Yeah, that was a lot of stuff like that.
Corrupted my data. I mean, like, you're like, oh, great. It's like however many megabytes, back then megabytes, of space. But it definitely corrupted like 10 or 12 games that I had. So I just say be careful. And
it's the Nyko dock. The Nyko Switch dock has had reported problems of bricking consoles. And Nyko even like released a statement on it. They said, and of course they would. They said we are aware that some users are experiencing this. But when I was reading that, when I was looking the type of stuff up, I discovered that. And then once that happened, I was like, well, I'm never buying one of these. And I went and bought the Insignia one from Best Buy, which is like $30. I bought it for my streaming station. That was the whole point of me having that, is I wanted to have my streaming station set up. And I'm just being alerted that apparently we're private over there on YouTube. So I got to fix that. That's the rain. Sure the rain outside is making that noise. Rain. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, if you're hearing that, I've been chatting with Caroline on the side. I'm like, what is this whirring noise? That's the rain. Wow. It's
really powerful outside. It's been raining pretty hard the past almost 2 hours. Started about 8 o'clock.
Wow.
So.
All right. Next question. Anyway, thanks, Paul. The last question he had: do you like the new outfits for Mario?
Yeah, and I was gonna actually talk about that in our quote news. We can just go ahead and talk about it right now.
Burn it now.
Baseball is obviously yay. I'm gonna have to jump back on this thing and go and buy them, because I don't even know if I've got enough coins. I'll have to go around and start farming coins again. But the Satellaview is so cute. Like I think it's great that they are going back and just, really foreign type stuff. They're like, nobody will remember this, but they remember this. I think it's great. I think it's really cute. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, retro. For people that don't know what Satellaview is, it was a peripheral that you put underneath your Super Famicom. It was only released in Japan, and they broadcasted games and parts to you every week. So like you could play Link to the Past in 4-week sessions. You only had like a few hours. Early internet days. So
okay.
BS Zelda.
I mean, I've barely paid attention. I saw the baseball outfit, but yeah, I'm not playing Odyssey. So our next question came in from Tom Servo. He says it's been 3 years since a Zelda game on 3DS. Triforce Heroes 2015, Link Between Worlds 2013. Will we get another Zelda adventure on 3DS? We kind of talked about this just a little bit on If We Ran Nintendo.
If y'all want to listen to that, go listen to it. I think that the 3DS, bless its heart, has done its fair share, and it should be.
That's not the question. The question isn't whether or not you want to put it to dead. The question is, do you think it'll get another Zelda game?
If it does, I would buy it in a heartbeat. Are you kidding me? So I mean, if it's gonna be pushed out through 2019, like they've got games coming out obviously through next year, go for it. I'm all for it. They teased Link Between Worlds, the E3, before it came out that November. Mm-hmm. So conceivably we could have that would be sweet. That would be a nice surprise.
There was a Phantom Hourglass remake, like rumor, that was coming around with that last Direct, I believe.
Oh, I don't
or
even
Spirit
know
Tracks. I think it was Spirit Tracks, actually. So I'm kind of with you. I'm like, I don't know. I was thinking a remake. If they put Wind Waker on 3DS, would you buy it?
Oh yeah, duh.
I've got the Wii U version.
I think that Wind Waker would actually look pretty good on 3DS.
So do I. It was the one thing when I just played it, I was like, I forgot how much I loved playing dual screen Zelda games. It was something when we were leading up to the Switch and Breath of the Wild, Jason and I kept going to Jason. It meant nothing at the time, but at the time I was like, Jason, how are we ever going to go back to not being able to manage your inventory on a separate screen? like it really bothered me because I've always really enjoyed it, especially with Wind Waker. Its combat is really equipped to be able to swap out weapons fast and stuff like that. You can feel awesome. So
yeah, I really like that about the HD remake on the Wii U, but I don't know. Now that we're talking about that, it was so recent on Wii U. I don't know if they would do it again.
I'd probably buy it. Jason makes a really good comment in the chat. I'd probably buy it. If they put Wind Waker on a toaster, I'd buy it. I mean, he's right there. I would probably buy it. But it'd be interesting. I mean, I think most people want the Wind Waker HD to come to Switch. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know.
Skyward Sword HD Switch. It's gonna happen. I think
that's a really good question, because on one hand, I want to go, they're definitely toning 3DS back, right? Like they're ramping it down. They're starting to shut it off. Mm-hmm. You could totally do a 3DS Zelda game and just that be it for the year. That's totally, they could totally do that. They could just have it and that's it. And the Wii U rides the year out on this last game. I could see something like that. 3DS. It wouldn't shock me.
You called it the Wii U.
Oh, I'm sorry. 3DS.
Yeah.
Backlog Blues writes, and he goes, since I'm going to be spending 3 days in a hospital next month, name 3 Switch/3DS games for me to take to play. No Zelda or Mario's. Something fun, but further off the radar.
I'm going to say you should download Stardew Valley for the Switch, because you will be obsessively playing that. And if you're going to spend 3... Yeah, seriously, if you're going to be 3 days in the hospital, I hope you're going to be okay. It's obviously
his wife, they're pregnant.
Oh, well,
Yep.
congratulations. Well, yeah. Well, you might be playing fun, watching through glass at a baby game instead. I'd definitely say Stardew Valley. That would be my pick.
I'm gonna give you some.
You could get through a whole year in Stardew Valley in 3 days in the hospital.
Nice. I'm gonna give him some 3DS deep cuts, since I'm the only person that still, I guess, enjoys the little console that could. Moon Chronicles or Iron Fall. Both of those are 3DS shooters, first-person shooters. I think Iron Fall is better. Iron Fall is like a really bad, or bad's not the right word, a really dumbed-down version of Gears of War. And it runs on a 3DS. And it actually runs, considering what you're playing on it, it looks and runs well. You're like, wow.
Wow.
It's kind of like you're playing in like an N64 shooter on your 3DS. You're like, man, this is kind of good. Switch. Something off the radar. Because I would always go any of the indies that we love. Golf Story, SteamWorld Dig, those types of stuff. But he already knows these types of things. I like that Pac-Man game a lot. That's really good. I'm going to go with Implosion. It's a game that I bought on Switch. The summer we didn't really have anything to play. And it was actually pretty good. It's a mobile game. It's got these pretty neat little cutscenes of sci-fi, but it's like hack and slash. Fire Emblem Warriors type combat where you just beat the snot out of folks. But I should say, considering that I feel like I'm the only person that ever still plays it, if he doesn't have Fire Emblem Warriors, get that game.
Absolutely.
That's the game. You should play the campaign and all the story maps. I still haven't beat all the maps yet.
Me either. Yeah.
I'm getting there.
And then all the DLC is basically dropped.
Trash Turkey goes, do you have a game budget every year? How do you manage your spending on games? I've been trying to spend less this year.
Good luck. Yes, I have a game budget.
It's a lot.
It factors into my monthly budget because I don't have children. I do spend more than most people. When I say game budget, I'm talking like memorabilia, amiibo, books, anything that's game related that's not just a game. I'll buy it. I think I spend maybe this month has been kind of a lull, so I think I've only spent like maybe 150 this month. Nothing crazy. But that includes like DLC for stuff and my mobile game and stuff like that. But I allot about 200 to 300 a month as a single lady, or not a single lady. We're married, but no children.
I can't keep up with your spending. I buy a lot of stuff though.
It will stop, trust me.
That's the thing. I buy a lot of things. I think of everybody here, I'm the only person that can really rival Mo in trying to play as much as he does, or at least in buying as much as he does. But I also like buy and sell. So it's not like I have a budget every month. I have like revolving credit is basically how I have it, which is why I like Game Pass and like rental services.
True.
Because I'm basically doing the same thing. I buy a game, I play it, and I trade it in.
Right.
So how much did I pay for a game? Like I actually made $2 off of Kirby because I bought it from Best Buy on the games credit and sold it for like $49.
Oh my gosh. You've already sold it?
Oh, I sold it on the episode. The last PSVG podcast, I put it up. I was like, I'm going to beat it tomorrow morning, so I'm going to put it up. And it sold by the time we got off the air. I was like, it just sold.
Oh my gosh.
Dang. So I do that a lot. And sometimes, you do better than other times. I do a lot of that. So I really only keep... The game's got to be special. Not special, but the game's got to be something that I either want to play or it's like it's so dirt cheap I can't get anything out of it. So that's the other thing. That's the other weird thing that I do is I'll buy a game like Xenoblade, play it for 10 hours, decide, hey, I'm not gonna play this for another 200 hours, and I'll trade it in. And then like 2 years down the road, I'll pick it up for like $13 and I'll keep it forever. Like that's the weird stuff that I do. I
know.
So
we can attest for your Wii U stuff.
It's terrible. Like I could never. It's not healthy. It's just that I like to play. I mean, I like to play a lot of different things.
You just get bored.
Kinda, yeah. I just kind of get bored if I do. It's got to be. It's just got to be captivating. Like Breath of the Wild was very captivating. I never wanted to really finish it.
Right.
And like Wind Waker, as Jason alluded to in the chat, like I can always play that game. Like, you know, I want to keep that game forever. But there are other games that I know, like when I put this down, I'm done. And it's going to be a while. Like even if I usually go, I'll never play it again. What I usually mean by that is I'm not going to play it in the next 2 or 3 years.
True. Yeah. I'm the same way, or that I can never see myself playing it again. Like this game that I'm playing now. I mean, bless it. It's good I can appreciate it for what it is and what it was back then, but I have no desire to.
If you removed that discovery that you're having on your first time through from that game, right? Because the second time, nothing would be new again.
This is true.
Yeah. That's something that in my mind, I kind of keep pushing off Breath of the Wild, because there's a part of me that's like, I want to replay all of it, but I'm like, I wonder if it'll feel the same. Because I won't be learning it for the new time. So I'm trying to forget it.
It's really hard for me to pick Breath of the Wild back up, like just remembering the mechanics and, you know, the good when we had the DLC.
If you're going to do it, you got to commit like you did the first time. You got to, this is what I'm going to play. Yep. That's an interesting topic. Last Sunday, actually, I started replaying some old games from the YouTube for us. Just some stuff. I played Infamous and I replayed Uncharted. Stuff that I had forgotten about for a while. And I'm pretty sure by the time The Last of Us 2 comes, I'll replay The Last of Us again. But yeah. Anyway, budget, no, I don't have. But I have a credit card that I put all of my gaming stuff on, and like when it gets too high, I stop buying games until it comes back down, and then when it gets too low, I start buying more games again. That's basically how I do it.
I buy more games when I get GameStop cards from my mom for my birthday, Christmas.
Fortunately, and unfortunately, between the car, the trees, the sump pump, and everything that I've done to this house in the last 6 weeks, I really don't feel like I'm going to be able to buy as much as I normally do.
Right.
Fortunately, before I spent all that money, I pre-ordered like 9 games.
Oh, well,
that
that's
are all
good.
paid off.
If they're paid off, yeah, that's perfect.
So I have games. I've got South Park, and I've got
that's
Hyrule Warriors, and I've got.
I pre-order, but I don't pay anything off.
Oh, so I always pay them all off.
I get this random charge, and I'm like, "What's coming out? What did I forget what's coming out?" And that happened. Oh my god, I can't remember what came out recently, but
that's funny.
It was the Detective Pikachu amiibo, and I was like, "What is this $30 charge on my card?" And it's because it's a giant amiibo that I'm not going to open. So.
See, I hate that. So like when I pre-order, I typically 95% of the time I pay off everything. Yeah. Because I don't want to be bothered with it later. I don't like surprises, so I just.
Do you just do everything through GameStop still?
Typically, most of the time. Like I'll buy Amazon or Best Buy for the rewards, and then I always trade GameStop or sell on eBay.
Yeah.
It depends. If I can double my money on eBay, I will. If it's close, I'll just go to GameStop. Yeah. So anyway, that wraps up a lot of our questions. That was great because we needed them this episode. As Caroline has already alluded to, we have a couple news stories. I'll jump into mine first, and that is Fire Emblem Warriors DLC is finally out, and this is the DLC from the Fire Emblem Awakening pack. So we get Owain, we get Olivia, but my favorite of the bunch, go figure, is Tharja, who comes, and I cannot wait to play as Tharja.
Tharja's your favorite character?
She's my favorite character in this DLC pack. Probably she might,
okay.
Maybe from Awakening, maybe close.
I got you.
Because I'm definitely a Fates person. Fates is my favorite.
I like Awakening better.
Really?
I mean, I love
like the old
Fates.
School. Kevin's that way too.
Yeah, I love Fates, but the characters in Awakening, I just kind of Awakening was my first true Fire Emblem experience, so I think that's probably why I like it more.
That might be true. I didn't have that. I played the GameCube one, so but Tharja might be my favorite from Awakening. I can't wait to check out her magic and stuff and what she does. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so you get new maps. We also get new. There's characters get new costumes. There's new weapons. The levels I think are increased to 150 now.
Oh no!
Which I only have one character. I think my
only 150.
My Corrin is like 98. I don't know if I can get her to 150, man. That's a lot.
I don't think it's 150 because the max on Hyrule Warriors after all of the DLC was 255.
Let me look it up.
Now the only reason I got all of my characters on Hyrule Warriors for the Wii U to 255 is because I used the exploit that I hope is still going to be achievable in the definitive edition where you had to hit, it was a random number generator that you had to randomly, you had to kill a Goma like in one special attack. And I always use Lana for it. And it was just a matter of doing the same repeat and restarting the level. If it didn't work, restarting the level. But instead of going up and count in the rupees, it would actually set you back negative, and negative puts you at 9,999,999 rupees every time. So if you did that exploit a good number of times, you had enough to just grind out one character and then add or do everybody else up in the dojo or whatever it is. So you had everybody else at the same level.
So here's what we get. We get the Scion of Legend, the Exalt Imran, the Caravan Dancer history maps. So you have 3 history maps. Armor break models, dedicated weapons for Robin, Lissa, Frederick, Cordelia, Owain, Tharja, and Olivia. Version 1.50 update. Max level character levels from 130 to 150.
Oh, well, that's a lot better than the Hyrule Warriors.
I don't think I can do it. I feel like I've grinded. I've got one character in the 90s, and that's Female Corn. That's my favorite. It's my favorite character in all the series. So that's the one that almost every battle map that I can use her in, she's my main. And then I just kind of rotate everybody else around her. So
she's a very strong character. I liked using her, and I think I just used the main girl. What was her name? The blonde.
Yeah.
You know, the two brother and sister.
They were both strong.
Yeah.
It was... I don't remember.
I can't. It's been forever since I've actually popped the thing in and started playing it. But
I played it today at lunch. I got in there. I would love to use Cordelia more, but I feel like I'm constantly having to save her. Like, it's
because Pegasus riders are so
they're not very good.
Yeah,
they should be awesome.
I know. They're like, you get put it up against an archer and it's death, instant death.
I remember I was so excited when the first time I flew. I was like, oh! Anyway, that's good stuff. I feel like I'm the only person in the world still playing this game.
No, I have I've bought the season pass for DLC, and I've been playing everything else.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that it hit so close to Odyssey that we just didn't get to play all of it that we wanted to.
And that's good for a time like this where you feel like there's a lull. Jump in there and hide. Those I'm telling you, anybody that played Hyrule Warriors knows what I'm talking about. Those battle maps are where it's at.
Oh, absolutely.
Get those bite-sized stories, those fun, like all those different little requirements.
Now, I didn't start doing battle maps hardly at all after we beat the main story. Do you unlock costumes through there like you did in Hyrule Warriors, or is it just...
I think so, yeah, there's some. I've been playing them, I just kind of play them randomly. So I can't tell you that I'm pretty sure, because there's definitely some characters that have costumes that I didn't get.
Costumes and the weapons were the main things that I went for on the maps.
So in Warriors and Fire Emblem Warriors, you get to relive the main story beats of the different Fire Emblem games.
Correct. Yes.
So there's the battle map for Awakening, the battle map for Fates. So that's why I'm playing it. So I'm not even really paying attention to the costumes.
Oh, okay.
I'm I don't care.
one of those I've got to collect all of the sprites type things.
I gotcha. The other news story that I had is that Piranha Pit, which was announced in the Direct, drops in Splatoon 2 this weekend.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in doing that, boot that game up. That game is always...
That's another game that I haven't put in.
We never played that salmon run again. We should do that.
Yeah. I was going to be one of those people that's like, okay, I'm going to play Salmon Run at least to the beginning of every month so I get the special item. But then I missed it in October, and I was like, I have no desire to even try and do anything anymore. We don't even get on for Splatfest anymore, which is sad, which is why I said I'm excited for the Octo expansion, because that's the single player campaign is exactly what I need to get me going in.
Yeah.
We still play
a bit. We played during the last Splatfest. We jumped in Saturday morning, played for an hour. We still play.
Is that the chicken and egg one?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. All right, so I've got go figure. Xenoblade 2 DLC is dropping overnight at 1 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. It's a whopping 5 quests that I'll beat in an hour. And also, we already talked about this, but Mario Odyssey is getting 2 new costumes for Mario post-game, the Satellaview and the baseball uniforms. Woo!
Do you think they're going to do Odyssey DLC? Like, do you think that's going to happen? You're going to...
No.
No?
I think the Luigi's Balloon World is about all we're going to get. I think if they had DLC in the works, they would have already told us.
So that could be a smaller announcement at like E3 that they fit into that window. I could see something like that. It makes sense.
You know, you're probably right, because I mean, we didn't think that there was going to be any paid DLC for Splatoon 2.
Yeah.
And
they're really leaning into it, man. I'd love more Mario Kart DLC.
Oh, and I think Nintendo really does DLC well.
I think they're realizing that they can keep the life of their games. You know, like we don't whine about wanting new games when they drop a decent DLC pack. You know, like people are like, who cares? And play this Octolings thing. So it's a good way to, piecemeal to create space, give them some room to make games.
Yep.
Anyway, that's it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning into the Nintendo Shack, proud member of the PSVG Podcast Network. I am your host, Donnie Reese, at Playin' Nintendo. As Sean Capri says, ain't no G's in Playin' Nintendo.
Ain't no G's.
I'm joined by my twin over here in the Nintendo space. Caroline, let folks know where they can follow you.
I'm the Nintendame on Twitter.
There you go. If you're watching on YouTube, it's right there below her name. And we appreciate it. Thank you. My New Year's resolution for 2018 is to remind you each and every week to let someone else know about our little podcast corner of the world. It's hard getting new people to find podcasts. Like, you've got to do something. They've got to come find you. Everybody has a podcast today. So if you love PSVG, and we hope you do, and that's why you're listening, just tell one other person that you love them. You don't have to convince them. Just say, hey, have you ever heard of the PSVG Podcast Network? I think you'd like it. That's a cool thing. You could just do that this week to one person that you know listens to podcasts. Don't do it to like your aunt. Don't do that. Yeah. That's a waste. That's a throwaway vote.
What's a podcast?
That'd be like me giving the code away to the bot. That's a waste. What a waste. No, don't do that. Find one person that likes podcasts and let that person know. Or
that likes video games.
I let the tree cutter know. The people that came, forget what they're called, the loggers. What are they called?
Lumberjacks?
Lumberjack. There you go. I caught the people that cut trees down. And he came into my office to get paid, and he saw my corner here, and he was like, I have to take a picture of that for my son. He loves video games and does YouTubes. I was like, does he now? Have you told him about playsomvideogames.com? So I did it. Now it's your turn. Nice. Anyway, listeners, thank you for tuning in to the Nintendo Shack. We will see you next week. And
hopefully new.
Yeah, hopefully with something more to talk about. And as Kevin always says, remember, boys and girls, never stop gaming. I forgot the ending song.
Oh, I was waiting for it.
I just started it. There you go. Awkward ending. Fantastic.
This has been a production of the Play Some Video Games Podcast Network. Find more great content at playsomevideogames.com.